المتهورة من الإدارة الأثيوبية وضمان تنظيم تصريف المياه من السد في حالتي الجفاف والفيض. وإذا اختارت مصر طريق الدبلوماسية ولجأت إلى المؤسسات الدولية وعلى رأسها منظمة الأمم المتحدة.
So the question is, why is Ethiopia and Egypt having a dispute as a result of the Grand Renaissance Dam? Well, we're here to find out. So if this is the first time joining us on this platform, please don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Don't forget to like and leave a comment down below. Stay tuned. Well, for those that don't know, Egypt and Ethiopia has been having this whole back-to-back dispute as a result of the dam that is being built in, or rather completed in Ethiopia. This will begin in 2011 when the then President Meles announced that he was going to build a dam in Ethiopia, thereby helping the country in terms of electricity and other infrastructures, you get me? So Egypt also has voiced its concern, saying that majority of their the water source comes from this dam, that if Ethiopia should build this dam, it would definitely cut short their water supply and all the basic amenities they get from this water. And Ethiopia, on the other hand, has said that the dam that is being constructed will not affect the water flow of the Nile. So it's basically a back and forth thing, a tit for tat and all the kind of stuff. But let's really dive into it and see what's really happening here. So over here, if we take a look at this map here, you will definitely see that the Grand Ethiopia Renaissance Dam is over here, right? And this over here is Lake Tana. So I'm just using the map I saw online. This is Lake Tana, and Ethiopia, the dam was placed here. This is the Grand Ethiopia Renaissance Dam, was placed here. And over here is the Blue Nile, right? From this Blue Nile, it goes here and all the way to these other countries. So not just Egypt now, even Sudan has voiced its concern too. And also the Ethiopian officials has also said in return that this will not affect the water flow of the Nile. So this is the little chart right here. So this is Egypt, this is Cairo, this is Sudan. So if Ethiopia should build a dam here, they are saying it will cut the water flow from here to here and to every other neighboring nation. So that is what it's all about. Ethiopia has been in dispute with Egypt and Sudan over the mega project since its launch in 2011. Egypt as a country relies on the Nile for nearly all its water needs. Egypt's foreign minister said Ethiopia was disregarding the interests of the downstream countries, while Ethiopia says the $4.2 billion, which is equivalent to 3.4 billion euros, dam will not cut their share of the Nile water. Ethiopia also admitted that the project had faced internal and external obstacles, but they endured all that. The dam began generating electricity in February 2022. Ethiopia believes the Grand Ethiopia Renaissance Dam, which is called GERD, will double the country's electricity output, providing a vital development boost, as currently half the 127 million population lacks electricity. So the reason why Ethiopia literally decided to go about this mega project of the dam is because like almost half of its 127 million citizens lack electricity. So they thought of a way to harness the Blue Nile, right, to build a dam to generate green electricity and all that. So that was what they did. And this whole stuff started in 2011, and it was first of all launched by the then President Meles. And according to the history, when it started the construction of this project, it faced a lot of backlash, even when it requested for a loan, I think. And I think the loan was cut short because some other countries went to voice their concern and say this dam that they are building will really affect their country, and that loan was not granted. And why this dam really means a lot to Ethiopia is when the loan was not granted, according to the story, the Ethiopia government as a then, which was the president then, Meles, turned back to his people and said, we need this stuff. and it's for the betterment of the Ethiopian people. And if they could come together as a nation to make this work, thereby I think it's like a contribution, like whatever they have, to make sure this whole thing can work. And that was what they did, and the whole action began and everything. This was what everybody contributed to do. So that's why it really means a lot to them. When people of Ethiopia talk about this dam, people don't really understand it. To them, it's kind of personal, it's sentimental to them, because their fathers, their mothers, including them, the whole country, they really put in work and everything, finances into the stuff to make sure it works. So basically that's why they are proud of it and everything. So they even have a song about it. They have a lot of stories, a lot of tales about that. They call it Abai, the name of the river Abai, which is the Blue Nile, right? So that's the sentimental attachment the Ethiopian people have with the GERD, which is the dam, and the Blue Nile. Then when it comes to Egypt, Egypt says this dam will really cut short a lot of things in Egypt. When it comes to water, you know, this whole Blue Nile, people don't really understand, not just water, you get me, in terms of marine life, fishes, shrimps, and all that. You have water, you have sand, you have clay, blah blah blah, you get me. So they are saying this would really take a huge toll on them, because farmers rely on this water. The people of Egypt rely on this water, because as we all know, Egypt is basically a nation that is surrounded with a lot of desert. Like when I say desert, I mean there's not enough water around Egypt. So they are saying this dam really take a huge toll on them. And Ethiopia officials also replied and say it is not true, that it will not affect the flow of the water and everything. So the Nile was filled the first time, I think the second time, and the third time, so to say. And it has really, like, even this whole issue, the president of America at then, which was Donald Trump, said he wanted to blow up the dam, he wanted to do a lot of stuff. And for me, I think to resolve these whole issues as Africans is to come together, to leave our differences aside, come together and see how we can resolve these issues. Just in case we don't know, we are neighbors, we are brothers, we are sisters, we are just family. Africans as a whole, we are family. I think the only way around this whole thing is not just conflict, is not fighting ourselves, because the dam has already been built. It has already been built. It took them years. It has already been built. The only way out of this thing right now is to come to a simple resolution, to come to a simple conclusion and be like, okay, this is how we want the dam to function. This is how like, what measures have you put in place to make sure this thing will not affect my people? Let's see how, like, the impact it will gain on my people. Coming together to resolve this thing is the really way out. It's the really easier way out, seriously, not fighting ourselves or causing disputes. So my little 2 cents is to resolve this whole issue, because first of all, the dam has already been built. It's not as if the dam is not completed. The dam is completed. The deed has already been done. The only way around this whole stuff is to come together and say, oh, what measures have you put in place to make sure this dam does not affect my people, does not affect the water supply of my people, does not make sure my people run out of water, marine life and everything. And also, what has been in place, like what structure have you put in place to make sure the filling of the dam is regulated and every kind of stuff. These are the things they should be talking about, not fighting themselves or having a dispute in it. Because the thing is, when 2 elephants fight, the grass suffers. It's just the truth. The people that will suffer this whole thing are the masses. If, for example, Egypt and Ethiopia should go into a huge conflict now, who will suffer? The people, the citizens will suffer. The both citizens, I'm talking about the Egyptians and the Ethiopians, they'll both have issues. Then you start having a lot of restrictions, you start having a lot of sanctions and all that. So it won't be really good for Africa. What Africa really needs right now is not war, it's not fight, it's not dispute, it's not any form of what we really need right now is peace, love and unity. It is what it is. Like, coming together to resolve our differences to it. Okay, this is how it's supposed to be. This is how I want it to be. Or what do you think about this? You get me? That's the only way forward. Because if you should look at it from the eye of the Ethiopian people, they will say they are right. And if you should look at it from the eye of the Egyptians, they will say they are right. The Egyptians might say, oh, these people, they are blocking our supply of water. And the Ethiopian people might be like, whoa, this is our water. Abba is for us. We are trying to harness the water so we can provide more electricity for our people and all that. You can see, so both parties have what they want to say in this particular situation. And I think the only way forward is just to come together and see how both parties can come to a dialogue and see how they can make things work. That's the only way forward. But because if they say, oh, Ethiopia should shut down this dam, trust me, the Ethiopians will not agree. You get me? So if the both parties come together and see how they can come together in a consensus, like come together and be like, okay, this is the agreement, this is what we've agreed on, and this is how it should be, then everything will be fine. Seriously, everything will be fine, because basically this whole stuff is political. Seriously, it's basically political, and fighting ourselves, causing conflict is not a solution, man. Seriously, it's not a solution. But I'll just leave a video here so you can see the Grand Renaissance Dam of Ethiopia. But if you like what we do here, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below for more videos like this. Until next time, I remember your boy Destiny, and we're out.
The Blue Nile, a river older than time, a source of life. It flows from the heart of Ethiopia, carrying with it the hopes and dreams of a nation. Ethiopia, a land of ancient history and vibrant culture, has long grappled with the challenges of poverty and energy scarcity. Yet, amidst these struggles, a bold vision emerged. A vision to harness the untamed power of the Blue Nile. A vision embodied in the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, or GERD. The GERD, upon its completion, is poised to be the largest hydroelectric power plant in Africa. Its impact will be profound, touching every aspect of Ethiopian life. But the journey to this point has been arduous, marked by both triumphs and tribulations. The story of the GERD is not just about concrete and steel. It is a testament to human resilience, ingenuity, and the unwavering pursuit of progress. The idea of damming the Blue Nile was not new. For decades it lingered in the minds of Ethiopian leaders. They understood the river's potential. It wasn't just about electricity, it was about transforming Ethiopia's destiny. In 2011, the dream began to solidify. The Ethiopian government, under the leadership of the late Prime Minister Meles Zenawi, made a bold announcement. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam would be built.
The announcement was met with a mix of excitement and apprehension. Excitement at the prospect of energy independence, of industries humming and homes illuminated. Apprehension at the sheer scale of the project and the diplomatic tightrope walk it entailed.
The Ethiopian government knew this was a monumental task, one that would require not just resources, but also careful negotiation and diplomacy. It was a moment of both great promise and significant challenge.
The year 2011 wasn't just about pronouncements, it was about action. With a resolute spirit, Ethiopia broke ground on the GERD project. This was a monumental undertaking, requiring expertise and manpower on an unprecedented scale. Thousands of workers, Ethiopian and international, descended upon the remote site in the Benishangul Gumuz region. The air buzzed with activity. The roar of machinery echoed through the valleys as earth was moved and foundations laid.
The early years were all about laying the groundwork, literally and figuratively. Contracts were signed with international firms, each bringing their specialized knowledge to the table. Materials, from massive turbines to high-grade cement, began arriving from all corners of the globe, a testament to the project's global significance. It was a time of immense effort and collaboration, a true convergence of human capability.
The early construction phase set the stage for what was to come, establishing a solid foundation for the ambitious structure that would rise above the Blue Nile. Building a dam of this magnitude, however, is no walk in the park. It's a high-stakes endeavor fraught with challenges that test the limits of human ingenuity and resolve. One of the biggest hurdles was funding. The estimated cost of the GERD ran into billions of dollars, a hefty sum for a developing nation like Ethiopia. The government implemented a multi-pronged financing strategy relying heavily on domestic sources. Bonds were issued to the public, tapping into a wellspring of national pride.
Political complexities added another layer of difficulty. Egypt, heavily reliant on the Nile for its water supply, voiced concerns over the dam's potential impact on its water share. Negotiations between Ethiopia, Egypt, and Sudan, the three nations most directly affected by the Nile, became a recurring theme, often marked by periods of tension and uncertainty. It was a delicate balance, navigating both financial and political landscapes to ensure the project's progress.
Despite these hurdles, the determination to see the GERD through remained unwavering, driven by a vision of a brighter, more self-sufficient future for Ethiopia. Section 5 Nature's Test, Environmental Concerns and Mitigation Efforts. Building a dam, even one intended for good, inevitably alters the natural environment. Concerns were raised about the GERD's potential impact on the Nile ecosystem. The dam's reservoir would inundate a vast area, potentially affecting biodiversity and displacing communities.
Ethiopia, acutely aware of these concerns, implemented a range of environmental mitigation measures. Environmental impact assessments were conducted to study potential risks and devise mitigation strategies. Fish ladders were incorporated into the dam's design to facilitate fish migration. Afforestation programs were launched to offset deforestation in the reservoir's vicinity.
The GERD became a testing ground for balancing development with environmental stewardship. Section 6. Engineering Marvel. Dam Design and Technological Advancements. At the heart of the GERD project lies a marvel of engineering. The dam, a roller-compacted concrete (RCC) gravity structure, stands as a testament to human ingenuity. Its design, a product of meticulous planning and collaboration between Ethiopian and international engineers, incorporates cutting-edge technologies.
The dam's two powerhouses, located on either side of the river, will house a total of 16 turbine generators, each capable of producing an astounding amount of electricity. The selection of RCC technology was a strategic one. RCC, known for its strength, durability, and speed of construction, proved ideal for the GERD's challenging site conditions. The dam's design also incorporated state-of-the-art instrumentation and monitoring systems to ensure its structural integrity and operational efficiency.
Section 7. Powering a nation, GERD's impact on Ethiopia's energy landscape. The primary objective of the GERD is to generate electricity, a lot of it with an installed generating capacity of over 5,000 megawatts. The dam has the potential to more than double Ethiopia's current electricity generation capacity. This surge in power generation will be transformative for the nation.
Imagine a future where Ethiopian industries, no longer constrained by power shortages, can operate at full capacity, creating jobs and boosting the economy. Imagine rural communities lit up, connected to the grid, and empowered to pursue new opportunities. The GERD is not just about infrastructure, it's about human potential.
The GERD is set to redefine Ethiopia's energy landscape, bringing light and power to millions. Section 8. From arid land to fertile fields, agricultural transformation. The GERD's impact extends beyond electricity generation. Its reservoir, with a storage capacity of over 70 billion cubic meters, will create new opportunities for irrigation, transforming agriculture in Ethiopia.
Water, once a scarce and precious resource, will become readily available, allowing farmers to irrigate their land throughout the year.
This shift from rain-fed agriculture to irrigation will have a profound impact on food security, not just in Ethiopia, but potentially in the entire Horn of Africa. Imagine a future where Ethiopia, once a recipient of food aid, becomes a breadbasket for the region, exporting its surplus to its neighbors. Section 9. Regional Dynamics, GERD's influence on Nile politics. The GERD, while a national project for Ethiopia, has inevitably become a regional issue. The Nile River, after all, doesn't recognize political boundaries. Its waters flow through 11 countries, each with its own needs and priorities.
The GERD's construction has brought to the fore the long-standing tensions over the Nile's waters. Egypt, in particular, has expressed concerns about the potential impact of the dam on its water share.
Ethiopia, however, has consistently maintained that the GERD is not designed to harm downstream countries. It argues that the dam will actually benefit its neighbors by regulating the Nile's flow, reducing the risk of both floods and droughts. The GERD has become a catalyst for dialogue and cooperation in the Nile Basin. It has forced countries to confront long-standing issues and seek common ground. Section 10. Challenges on the horizon, water sharing and cooperation. The completion of the GERD will mark a major milestone, but it will also usher in a new set of challenges. The most pressing of these will be the management of the dam's reservoir and the sharing of the Nile's waters during times of drought.
A fair and equitable agreement between Ethiopia, Egypt, and Sudan will be crucial to ensure the long-term sustainability of the Nile Basin.
Technical negotiations will be needed to determine the optimal filling and operation schedule for the GERD's reservoir. Data sharing and joint monitoring mechanisms will be essential to build trust and ensure transparency. The GERD presents an opportunity for the Nile Basin countries to move beyond historical grievances and forge a new era of cooperation. Section 11. A legacy for generations, GERD and Ethiopia's future. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam stands as a symbol of Ethiopia's aspirations. It represents the country's determination to overcome adversity, harness its natural resources, and chart its own course towards a brighter future.
The dam's legacy will be multifaceted, impacting generations to come.
It will be a legacy of energy independence, economic growth, and improved livelihoods. It will be a legacy of technological advancement, environmental stewardship, and regional cooperation. The GERD is not just a dam, it is a testament to the indomitable spirit of the Ethiopian people.
Don't you just love how focused and committed the Ethiopian nation are? Today, Ethiopia is one of the fastest growing nations in the world, with new and massive projects being completed regularly. Trust me, in less than 10 years, Ethiopia will be the Dubai of Africa. Thanks for watching. Please support this channel by clicking the subscribe button, like, and also share. Thanks.